Hi, I'm Walker from Make Noise here at Superbooth 19. Want to show you a couple new modules that we're showing this year. We've got the Soundhack Mimeophon, we've got the X-Pan, and we've also got the XO down here. So we'll start with the Mimeophon, and we've got quite a bit going into it at the moment, so I'm going to simplify this patch a little bit. Pull out some of this modulation and make it a little more simple. There we go, just a little simple sequence coming in that is not affected at all right now. Let's go ahead and so this is a brand new algorithm from Tom Erb of Soundhack. It's a stereo multi-zone color audio repeater. So we can break that down a little bit. Stereo is it's stereo in and out. Multi-zone because it has instant access to many different zones of repeat length, from micro sound to note length and typical echo size, and all the way up to long phrases in which things are coming back around and we hear what was done a few seconds back. We also say that it's stereo because the rate control, as is typical, we can make it go faster or slower, but we also have this button called skew. If we press skew, then the rate of the right and left delays or echoes or repeats are going to be controlled in the opposite direction by the rate control, giving us some interesting stereo effects. We also use the word color in there because we have the color control, which can affect the brightness of the repeats, and it's cumulative in the feedback path. So if I have it turned up, we're going to hear it getting brighter and brighter as it goes along, or darker and darker. We also have the halo control, which adds smears of sound around the edges of the repeats. Halo and color are fed back into each other and into the repeats control in various ways so that they're all kind of interrelated. The flip control turns the repeats backwards. Let's go to it. Zone, you may have noticed, doesn't cause kind of Doppler pitch shifting effects when you turn it. Just instantaneous changes from one length to the other, one zone to the other. Now rate does have Doppler effect pitch shifting, but if we patch a clock into the tempo input, then we get tempo locked repeats that are not so the rate control, if we use the tempo input, then the rate control also does not do Doppler shifting. It just changes immediately for complex rhythmic tempo synced echoes. We have some additional things we can do. Flip turns the echoes backwards. Hold will just continue to hold whatever was in the buffer in there indefinitely. Nothing leaves, nothing comes in, and it's non-destructive. We can even change the color and halo, switch zones, do whatever we want, and it's not going to alter that buffer until we release the hold. This is a modeless device that responds really well to modulation. We can modulate all parameters at once if we want to, and we'll thereby be able to access every corner of the algorithm, from flanging and chorusing all the way up to echoes and loops and beyond in a dynamic fashion. So that's the Mimeophon. That's 16 HP, and we're expecting to ship that at the end of the summer. We also have the X-Pan here, analog 5-channel voltage controlled crossfading and panning mixer. So we're using the top channel here to send this first voice into the Mimeophone. It crossfades between whatever's in channel A and whatever's in channel B. Right now I have nothing in channel B, so it's crossfading between channel A and nothing. The panner turned from left to right like so, and we can go panning left to right. And the other channel, crossfade between, let's just hear this one here, sort of a sequence coming in, and the same oscillator is just patched directly by the sine wave into channel A, so I can crossfade between the two as I like. This is also voltage controllable, so if I put a CV into it, we'll hear it changing over time. We can go up to audio rate. You might notice if you're listening on headphones that right now it's also being panned randomly as well, because we have CV over the pan as well. So obviously it could go left or right, and I'm going to go ahead and put that random voltage in there and bring it back to random panning again. There's also an auxiliary input, stereo auxiliary input with an input VCA. Easy for adding another stereo signal to the mix, or a mono signal because it's normal for mono, and allows the X-Pan to be used for non-linear and decentralized mixing, along with modules like the Optimix and Modimix that also have aux inputs. X-Pan is 10 HP. It's going to be $259 and should be shipping in 1 to 2 weeks. Finally, we have the XO. This is the mix, output, and headphones module. It's 2 stereo inputs with their own levels. We already heard a lot of what's going into the B input here. We've also got the QPOS going into the A input there. Easy way to just mix a couple stereo signals together. We have a lot of stereo outputs in the system now, so obviously we can patch one output into the next input and so forth, but if we want to just take a couple stereo outputs and mix them together at the end of the signal chain, this makes that easy to do, a lot easier to do than it has typically been in modular in the past. XO also has line level outputs, left and right individual line level outputs, as well as a stereo headphone jack with a volume control based on the same circuit found in the CV bus. And the XO is 6 HP, it's going to be $110 and should ship next month. And that's it for the modules. So we also have the new tape and microsound music machine down at the end. That's going to be a single row system that contains Morphogene, Mimeophone, and QPOS, and an XO, as well as Wogglebug and Mats for modulation, made for creating, capturing, and processing audio in stereo. Thanks very much for coming by the booth.